Yeah, you keep one. I have many.
Perfect. You're gonna keep it.
Yes.
Guys, I see many delegates. Can you please text the other delegates from the country or let them know that they have to. All right. So the chair is calling the J back to order at 3:52 p.m. GMT plus 8. I hope I said it right. So the next agenda point, first of all, the chair would like to acknowledge that ISA Greece is back in the J. I didn't have to, I shouldn't have danced. So, next agenda point is presentation of the maximum fee of the 75th ISA Congress on the fund, which will be presented by
Coming down, there is an X committee number 3, as well as present the maximum fee presentation for Congress next year. Well, here you have a little of information about BSA Nepal and the different local chapters that they have, which are ISA Rampur, ISA Vikas, ISA Katliawa, and ISA NPI. Well, Nepal, landlocked country in South Asia, is renowned for its natural beauty and cultural richness. Home to Mount Everest and 8 of the world's highest peaks. It offers adventure and spiritual experiences, and the capital is Kathmandu. Here also you have some facts about Nepal. The official name is the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, and we have about 30 million people. So let's meet the organizing committee. We have Susan Kariel as president of the MC, as well as vice presidents. Here we have the rest of the organizing committee. And the Congress team will be addressing the intersection advancing veterinary medicine, wildlife conservation, and climate change. There is plenty why they theme, because Nepal unique biodiversity and ecosystems highlight the critical intersection of veterinary medicine, wildlife conservation, and climate change in preserving its natural resources. Here is the Congress logo of the 75th Amazing Congress. Some pictures of all the city and university. And the location. And also here you have a lot of the countries that are free of visa or no need a visa to enter Nepal. Some more information that you can find more information will be provided at the end of the presentation. At the end of the sorry. Here, this is the accommodation. It's going to be the hotel Crown Imperial. You have the address there. Pictures of all their food. Some cover requirements as well that you can take into consideration. And so we're going to go very quick to the itinerary. So let's say day 0, we're going to have X committee and X session. Then college tour and opening ceremony, as well as the lectures and purpose general assembly. Day 2, sightseeing, GA, and international stands. Day 3, general assembly workshops, MO meeting, and silent auction. Then day 4, GA, committees workshops and cultural evening. Day 5, general assembly and lecture. Day 6, again, committee workshops and party nominating, as well as a live auction. Day 7, we're gonna have some optional activity you can read in this slide. And then day 8, we're gonna have regular GA workshops, then GA lectures and formal dinner. Day 10, GA and the closing ceremony as well as a white t-shirt party. And the 11 is a departure parties. This is the summary of the itinerary. And so the maximum Congress fee is for 400 euros. Here you have a little of the budget, so you can check the income. They are planning it for 140 delegates. And here is the outcome of accommodation, as well as transportation for some buses that they're also planning to rent. This is for food. And for formal dinner. Also delegates bags. And this is a total summary of the whole budget, including income and expected expenses and total expenses, as well as the result, which is around 200 euros. As I said, the maximum Congress fee will be 400 euros. And so I move to approve the maximum fee for Congress in Nepal for 400 euros.
Second.
So the motion on the floor is to approve the maximum Congress fee of 400 euros without selling tax. Is there any discussion? Yes, here. Mike?
Erin Coe, obviously China bidding number 88. This calculation of the budget, is it based off of if the number of participant is 140? It cannot be less than 140 participants.
Timing right is EXCO bidding number 3. Yes, the calculation is made with 140 delegates. We're always presenting the best scenario so we can have amount of money we can, lose in the process when organizing the Congress. So let's say we can have less delegates. Yes, we don't have the delegates, and actually working with the OC for different scenarios in case we don't get 140. But we prefer to present to the General Assembly 140 because this is the maximum we can have, and we can evaluate with this maximum fee how many delegates we can have if we don't have 140.
Erin Coe,
Is there any other question? Is there any other discussion? Erin?
Erin Coe, obviously China bidding number 88. So will the cost of the Congress fee be higher than, possibly be higher than 400 euros if there is less than 140 participants?
Coming around, obviously EXCO bidding number 3, it won't be higher than 400 euros because the GA is approving this as the maximum fee that can be from the Congress. It will be 400 euros or even less than 400 euros. And, the final fee will be approved for next event. So they have to work with this maximum fee and can be higher than that.
Is there any other discussion? Peter?
Until tonight is Denmark bidding number 16. Is the OC of Nepal, do they have anything prepared in terms of what to cut, given that there usually is a number of delegates that either don't pay on time or due to personal reasons have to quit. Get what I mean, right?
Tamil is exhibiting number 3. Yes, we already have some items prepared to cut in case it's needed. We're working now with 140 delegates and with the maximum fee we can charge to delegates. So for this time, after Congress in Taiwan and our next event, we can work on different scenarios so we can present a final fee at the next GA. But I'm personally working with them as policy member in different budget scenarios, so something, anything that happens, we have to be prepared for it.
Is there any other discussion? So to summarize, the motion is to approve 400 euros as the maximum fee. It cannot be higher, it can only be lower. Or the same. So 400 is the maximum fee. Is there any other discussion? Is there any objection? Is that a discussion?
Personalizes there might be number 16. It seems a very high number, considering some of the numbers given, for example, for accommodation was 16 euros per person a night. Would you care to elaborate as to why it's so high already, given that it's in a region where we might want to encourage our development fund countries to participate?
So, Dominic Brennan is exhibiting number 3. So currently, DOC made the budget based on 140 delegates, which of course makes expenses higher than with less delegates. And also, like we have 60 euros per night, we also have some other prices included. They may have a total amount, like the hotel will provide whole foods like breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus accommodation, so they have a fixed price. It's high. That's why they had to separate, because it's around like accommodation and food per person is around 54 something euros. And that's how they came to the conclusion. And they have a profit right now, considering expected expenses and everything. That's why it's 400. And so, yeah, as always, after approving the maximum fee and before approving the final fee, we're working towards lowering that with real numbers as we get closer to the event.
Is there any other discussion? Done.
Maybe say exhibit number 3. I also want to say that this, the maximum fee gives DOC with a wide range of fee we can work with before we approve the final fee. So as I said, as the chair said, fees can be higher, can be the same or even lower, and this is not the final fee, this is going to be approved at the next event.
Is there any other discussion? Is there any objection on approving the final fee of 400 euros? The maximum fee of 400 euros without CF tax? Seeing no objection, the maximum fee is approved. So, there are no more orders of today for today, so we will continue with J1 onwards. And we will resume from Wild and Exhaustive Network updates, which will be presented by Isha.
Ishan Acharya, IBC India, page number 11. As outgoing chair of the IBC Wildlife Consulting Animal Network, I am happy to present some of the work that we have been doing. This is my Congress report. So, just to give you a brief introduction, IBC Wildlife Exotics was approved as an official network in the Peru Congress last August. So this was the first term as a permanent network. I had a team of 14 members and 24 ambassadors, which I will speak about ahead. This is some of the stuff that we did with the goal in mind to connect our IBC students to more resources and opportunities with wildlife and exotics. And I have to say that in terms of the team applications, the ambassador applications, we had a lot of interest, which I was very happy to see, since a lot of people share my passion for wildlife and exotics. So we did over 10 webinars this term, including Instagram lives, and all of them had an attendance above 50. Few of them also went above 100, which was a really great achievement considering previous attendances. These are just few of the webinars that gained more attendance and had more important. I would like to point out this was our first one, and we did a World Wildlife Day webinar with a very renowned vet from South Africa, Dr. Bad. We also did one with a resident in the Florida University in zoological medicine, Dr. Christian, which is quite nice. And we have another exciting event coming up this term. This term ends on the 1st of September. But I don't know how many of you know the jungle doctor, Dr. Chloe Boiting. She is very popular on Instagram. She has over 250,000 followers, and she is doing some great work with conservation with her platform, the Conservation Collective. So we got in touch with her. We are currently planning a webinar, but we are hopeful that this happens before the end of the term. And if that does happen, that would be our marquee event. So I stay tuned. Yeah, these are just some of the photos of the webinars. We had a lot of collaborations with committees and networks. Some of the chairs that are here, we collaborated with all of them. So I would like to thank them for their cooperation. We collaborated with PN a lot actually. We collaborated with wellness, with pathology again. We had this nice event with One Health and Skoka, where the chair of the One Health Committee of Masala, Dr. Devan, gave a very nice presentation for our ambassadors. And you can see we also had a collaboration with SCOM. We had more, but I couldn't put it because of space. Yeah, these are some of the photos of what we did. We had a World Wildlife Conservation Day poster competition. We had meme competitions. You can find it all on our Instagram, Wild Exotics. The MOs are a very crucial part of IVSA, so we made sure that we involved them while we worked so that we get more engagement in their members also. We collaborated with India on this interview series, which will be released soon. So we interviewed a set of leading veterinarians working in wildlife, but different fields of wildlife. So some from the zoo, some from research, some working with free-ranging wildlife. So this will be a very fun read for you guys, which will be released by the end of the term. In this, we got the opportunity to interview the head of the wildlife networks for WOA, the World Organization of Animal Health, Dr. Dharamveer Shetty. So that was really cool. And we had a collaboration with the Exotics Vet, which is the pioneer exotic animal hospital in India, which was cool. We also collaborated with UPCH Peru, with IVSA Rwanda and IVSA Sub-Saharan Africa for the World Wildlife Day event. And there were 3 vets from Rwanda who spoke for us, so thank you for that. And you can see the rest. These are again some of the posts that we put out for that. This is a Fun Fact Friday, which was like an Instagram highlight series, which we did with 2 or 3 different local chapters, which was cool. Yeah, these are some key achievements. So personally, this meant a lot to me, what we did. We had our photography competition. As the previous speaker mentioned, since we got approved as an official network, we had a budget. So we could actually give out prizes, and we had a photography competition, the photos of which I will show you a little bit later. And we had 3 winners, one from, I don't remember where they were from, but there were some great submissions. And it was really fun judging this event. And we also contacted a prominent wildlife photographer to judge this event. And we gave cash prizes, which was cool. Then, I'm saying which was cool too much, I'm sorry. We also did the wildlife internship database, which was a project that me and my team had decided at the start of the term. You can access it via the pinned post from Instagram, where you guys can put in your favorite wildlife internships that you have done. And then our research managers go through them, and then they put it back on the database, and it is available for everyone to access. When the IVSA database comes along, we will collaborate with them, and then maybe you will see them on the IVSA website as well, depending on a number of things. We also had our ambassador program. We had 24 ambassadors from different universities. I would like to give a shout out to one of our ambassadors, Beta from Latvia. She's here. We have a policy statement proposal coming up about which you will learn in the next GAs. Yeah. We had quite a lot of interest in partnering with us, especially a lot of wildlife tour companies that take students to South Africa and places like that. but unfortunately, because of the high budget, we were not able to find a common ground yet. However, we did come up with the VN sponsorship booklet, which is a really detailed document. And considering the amount of interest we got, we have already started talking about collaborations with a number of organizations, a few of which might also sponsor us with money, which is great to see. But that those will be finalized by the next term in collaboration with the next year. We also had social media. We have close to 3,500 followers. So if you don't follow us, please do, so we can get there. Yeah, these are some of the photos. This one was first place, which is a really cool photo. I don't know how he took it, considering their results. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is my team. I would like to give a huge thank you to them. They made my life much easier, and yeah. So, Hakuna Matata, stay wise, stay exotic. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question for Ishana? See none. Thank you, Ishana.
Yes, sure.
The next agenda point is pathology network update, which will be presented by Violet.
Sorry, I'm afraid of. Wait, you can just use this one.
Hi, it's me again. Trust me, this is the last time I'm giving a presentation. Oh no, maybe it's not. Who knows? So it's time for updates. I have already given quite a lot of updates, and I was like, I don't want to repeat myself all the time. So I did include like some nice graphics for you guys to keep it entertaining. So I present to you the half-term Congress report of the IBSA Pathology Network, which is now an official network of the IBSA. All right, thanks so much. So first up, our strategic plan. So as I already mentioned during the Congress report, our strategic plan of 23-25 has been fully accomplished, which meant that we had to prepare a new one, and it has been put in place. It's the new strategic plan for 25-28, and it will serve as a guide for the next chair and the upcoming terms, because, well, we're official now. So for the upcoming chairs to work with, and it will be improved at each time. So you can also find it, by the way, in the delegates drive, because it was also appended to the Congress report. Next up, we had some policy and advocacy. So the IBSA Pathology Network is actually quite at the forefront of policy and advocacy as we speak, since we are presenting some policy papers as well as position statements. So we had a policy paper proposal that was presented to you, well, I think it was 2 hours ago. So please do read through the document, and if you have any questions, you can find me outside of GA as well. And the same goes for the call to action proposal. And then, surprise, there is a third one for you. We have prepared a policy statement in collaboration with the Wild and Exotics Network, which will touch upon the mitigation of emerging zoonotic risks in exotic pet trade. So stay tuned for that one. Next up, we have something very exciting, which is the translation of policy papers, because we're advocating for things. We want to do this in the most inclusive way as possible. And therefore, we reached out to people that could translate the already published policy paper in French. Oh, sorry. And for that, I really want to give a huge shout out to the people that are here. For example, Maysoon, she worked on it as well. So IBSA Morocco and some people from IBSA France. So thank you for that. And secondly, we have a translation now into Spanish. And this was done by members from IBSA Peru. And therefore, I also want to thank the members there, because they have helped us a lot. Because, well, I do speak French, but as ne hablo español. So right now we have these documents present on our website. So you can go and check them out there. And this is also like a step towards being inclusive. Next up, we have our social media engagement. So, well, as you can see, we had quite a lot of posts. And the number is already outdated again. We reached more than 2,530 subscribers at this point. So if you aren't following us, please do follow us, because we post all our opportunities here. We're also active on LinkedIn as well as Blue Up. So yeah, I would say just follow us for more. Here are some of the opportunities that we have this term. You can see on the left-hand side, you can see quite a lot of collaborations that we did with other committees and networks, as well as workshops. We had, for example, essay competitions, we had poster competitions, we had to launch a call for a new team member. We were present at the workshops, like at the European Symposium, for example, and we did some collaborations. And on the right-hand side, you can see some examples of the webinars that we did, because we did quite a lot of them. And they were all very exciting. Some were also in collaboration with partners such as this one, Vin. All right, then I have something exciting for you guys. It was already mentioned in the Scopy updates, but I do encourage you to go and scan this QR code, because in collaboration with IBSA Nepal local chapters, being IBSA Hardcast, IBSA Rampur, and IBSA Pakyava, we have prepared for you 3 very comprehensive pathology courses. And you might be thinking, what are these courses? Well, technically speaking, they are your go-to source for information related to different topics. I can tell you they are very, very detailed. We have reviewed them and they're available for you on the website, so go check it out. As I said already, we had 30 plus collaborations with standing committees and networks, and some of those happened in my term. These are just some examples. So we have, again, webinars, workshops, etc. And I want to thank the other standing committees and networks for working with us, because we did have some very nice collaborations. The same goes for the regions. We have worked with all of the regions. In this term, unfortunately, we weren't able to work with all regions, but we did have some very nice collaborations there as well. So keep an eye out for what's next. We work with MOs because we also think it's important to engage on a local level. So we have our ambassador program, but we also have ongoing initiatives with specific MOs. And we even organized an online exchange with IBSA Nigeria, IBSA Latvia, and IBSA Italy, which was very amazing. Then the ambassador program, so it was a novel initiative for the IBSA Pathology Network. We did have 18 ambassadors from all regions, all over the world. We increased visibility. We had them create creative content for us, such as reels, but also posts. And we had a mixed engagement, so we are re-evaluating at the moment, and we will make future improvements. And I also want to give a quick shout out for Wild Exotics Network, because we did have an amazing ambassador collaboration with them as well. Quickly about external relations, so I already mentioned we have some signed ones, and then there are some agreements. I'm not going to give you the whole talk again, but I do want to touch upon this because this is something I could not give you in the conference report. But the IBSA Pathology Network has worked on things for the future as well, and we have sent proposals to all of these companies. Currently, we're still waiting for their reply because, like I said before, well, now we can say that we're an official network, but as a candidate network, it is quite hard to give a reply. But yeah, so stay tuned for updates on these, hopefully in the next Congress presentation or symposium presentation. So we do some surveys. We want to gather your input, your topics that you would like to hear from us. So stay tuned for this one. It will be published again soon. We have an ongoing general feedback form so we can keep improving. And at the end of each webinar, we send the feedback form. And I do want to remind you, if you attend the webinar, please do fill these forms. It takes only 2 minutes of your time, and it's not only improving for us, but speakers also actually want to hear from you how you found their talk. So it's like a bit of a combination there. So lastly, I would like to thank my amazing team. I didn't have the time to thank them before, but I really want to give them a huge shout out, because you only see me here, but there's of course way more going on behind the scenes than just me. So I want to give a huge shout out to all of the people that made this happen. And do scan QR code to follow us on social media. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any question? Seeing none, thank you. Next agenda point is Member Organization Director update, which will be presented by them.
Terminator is Exco meeting number 3, and so I'll present to all of you a quick summary of what I've been doing with my team during the last months. So yeah, it's my update. this is my beautiful team, and I don't want to cry. As you can see, I have five amazing Green representatives, which one is here, the other one is sick today, and the others are not here. And I have five amazing secretaries, and I have the lucky to have four of them here attending the event. And yeah, I'm so happy about to work with such amazing group of people. So very quick, what have we done during the last months? We were still working on these certificates for most regional teams. So sorry it took a lot of time, but it was something that we had to handle from it faster. And yeah, we're already working for improving this for this term. This is one presentation. Sorry. Again, here's my team. With a little, some small changes. But again, I have one main representative here, two actually, and four secretaries attending the event. And what have we done? So we are updating the database of exchanges. Currently with the exchange contracts form that maybe all of you already know, and I want to thank Ryan and Hewan, my colleagues, for such an amazing job. Also, we're still updating the database of the votes and really working on the plan for next year to make it easier for the next team. Improving MOD instrument account, that was something that we've been doing the whole term, and I want to thank Rebecca for being so amazing with MOD instrument account. Obviously working with the amendment for migration, is where I launched the dual system of verification and membership, so we can start moving to members portal. We had 4 presidents and EOS meetings during the whole term, November, 4, May, and July, and I hope you join the meetings and enjoy them. We also made some improvement for the Excellence Award that I talked a little in Morocco, and we'll talk about at the end of the event. Also, big changes to the topical competition, and I'm very excited to know which will be the best of all the term at the end of this event. I was supporting Morocco's inclusive OC and Taiwan Congress OC, as well as working on training for delegates, which is something new from this term, training for delegates for symposium and Congress, and I hope they help you a lot to understand how the event works, how the G works and stuff. Well, we're still working on certificates for MOs and Reynolds team members. I also presented a bylaw amendment to change the EO meeting to MO meeting to make it better, and I think I'll talk about that in Morocco as well. We created in total 4 new MOs, 4 presented in Morocco, 4 that we were presenting in this event. We also reactivated some MOs in risk of termination. I had during the whole term one-on-one meetings with my regional reps and secretaries. From this term, I decided to have all the MOs updated on what we were doing. And so in the MO folder drive, you can find all minutes from our presidents and EOS meeting, and also minutes from our MO meeting in Morocco. So if you didn't attend, you also can get to know what we discussed in the meeting. And I also supported the regional representatives with their regional symposium. We had 2 offline events. The year one in Turkey, no, in Poland, and the Asia Pacific Regional Symposium in South Korea, and the online one was SSA this year. You have 1 minute to scan our QR code, so Rebecca and I can be very happy for following us on Instagram. So please follow us because we're working a lot on that. And so, as we create the most, we also have to terminate some of the most. We have to terminate some MOs. Yeah. And so we are terminating 5 MOs. As you can see, is IBC Azerbaijan, IBC Congo, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, and Ecuador. And basically the reason is because they didn't pay at least 2 consecutive membership fees as per our bylaws. And so yeah, very sad. And also they don't have active boards, but this also gives the opportunity for them to rejoin IBSA in the future. And also we have 4 new MOs, as I said. And I want to congratulate Arian because we have 1 MO from Asia Pacific and 3 from the Americas. I want to congratulate Nas as well, who's not here. And what's next? We're I'm prepared with maintain the evaluation form for this event. As Violet says, evaluation forms are very helpful for us, so please fill them out. I'm already working with the PRC team for certificates so they can be sent out during this term. The next team doesn't need to handle that. Is still working on members portal migration, so I hope the next MOD team can finally have all members in members portal. The biggest thing for me will be to prepare or finalize the recruitment handover for the next MOD for next term, and also the preparation for 2026 events. And in 3 days, we have the MO meeting in Taiwan, so I hope you all can join us. This is going to be very fun and amazing. And yeah, to finalize my presentation, I just wanted to give some acknowledgement. First of all, as I did in work, I want to thank Felix for being there for me and for being more of a friend than a boss. If you see us in there, that's the relationship we have. To whole expo, I really enjoy working with all of you. All of you were amazing. To Hewon, Camila, Rebecca, Ryan, and Shio, I couldn't have asked for a better group of secretaries. To Erin, Donna, and Florian for always being there, so responsive, so committed with the position, and also to Nabil and Ignacio for taking the responsibility of taking the regional representative position and have such short time to accomplish a lot of things. And to all my MOs, as I always say, I'm MOD because you allow me to be your MOD. And thanks for your emails, messages, and everything I got. It was very worthy for me. And as I said, being MOD was my dream, and I'm so happy that I could accomplish it before graduating. And so thank you so much for all the support I received and also my team received. With love, Taiwan. Thank you.
Is there any questions? Peter.
Okay, when I go up, you need to check if it's live.
Hey, and first nice agenda page number 16. Can we please go to the QR code side again so that people have a really good chance to scan it? Because it is very important for us and for our sponsor opportunities to have a huge Instagram following that we said it lost recently. So please guys, thank you.
You can also follow all the other IBC pages, the new IBC page that is back on Instagram, the new GFE page, all communities and networks, Instagram pages. Okay, I hope you had enough time to scan this QR code. Is there any other question? Seeing none. Thank you, Dominic.
Don't go.
Second agenda point, the next agenda point is regional representative updates. First one is the Americas Week, which will be presented by
David is activity number 3, and so I'll present the presentation of the regional representative of the Americas, who unfortunately is not attending the event, who is Ignacio Salazar from Malaysia, Mexico. This is Ignacio's regional team. Very lovely. And so Ignacio entered into the position in April. So all of the things you're going to see in this report are things he and his team did from April till now. So he had a longer collaboration with the Senate Committee on Animal Welfare. It was about the impact of social media on illegal wildlife trafficking warfare, and also a collaboration with the Patrolling Network, which was a webinar in Spanish, very helpful for the region. Also, he had an interview with GUA, which was about young veterinarians and their vision on animal health in conjunction with PMOD and GUA Americas. Communication with the most, he is scheduled every month since May, and the objective is to know the current situation of the most, to improve the engagement between members, national boards, and regional team, and to create an individual action plan for each MO and support them on an ongoing basis, and also to help with their ideas, activities, projects, exchanges. New MOs, as I said, we have 4 new MOs and will have to be presented and approved by the ZBA on the countries for Canada, Nicaragua, and Argentina for the vehicles. And he's already planning some training sessions so vehicles can start working, or the potential signs are working. And thank you for your attention. And he says, finally, I thank my renal team, the most national boards, the officials, the MOD team, and EXCO for trusting him and supporting him in every decision and opportunity. And he wants to thank you very much, and I hope you will have an amazing Congress. Thanks, Ignacio.
Thank you. Is there any question? Seeing none, we can move on. The next agenda point is Asia and Pacific, which will be presented by Ingrid.
Hey everyone, I'm gonna get through this quickly since, I'm also sitting down there and I know you wanna get out here as soon as possible. Okay, so, this is the MOD team, which Tammy has already talked about. And this is my regional team that I have, worked with, this term. And so I just wanna give a special thanks to all of them. Celine from obviously Taiwan as my secretary. And doing all the tedious work that I didn't want to do. And then we have Akshar from IBSC India, Sachin from IBSC Nepal, Arya from IBSC India, Aurelia from IBSC Indonesia, Kritika from IBSC India, Viraj from IBSC Nepal, and Iftishan from IBSC Bangladesh. Okay, and this term we have 12 MO. Actually, there's one more, 13 MOs, including IBSC Malaysia. I forgot to add on to that.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. Trying to catch you guys if you're paying attention, actually. Yes, and then we got a new MO actually which is IBSC Australia, and I can't thank the leadership more because they have been so active. Okay, and here's some of the events that we have done. This is one webinar that we did on March 3rd, which is also a collaboration with IBSA STAR. And we had a collaboration with IPSF, IFMSA, IAAS, and IBSA STAR. We were like, okay, what do all these alphabets mean? There are actually other student associations that we work with. So we're just going along with the One Health approach and trying to work with other student associations as well. And so this was like a 2-day event that happened in April. And yeah, these are just some recaps. We got some speakers and like a symposium and then a panel discussion. And this is like one of our biggest milestone, which is our first in-person regional symposium that happened. Republic of Korea, and they spent so much time on this, and I was truly impressed by how well the symposium went, and it was in collaboration with Busan Veterinary Conference. And oh wait, okay, I swear I had some photos in there, but it was on this slide. But basically we had the conference there, and then we got free lunches provided at the Busan Veterinary Conference where we had a lot of traditional Korean food. We got the silent auction, which they had a taster of what a global congress was like. And then we went to the beach. We went a lot of alcohol as well. So, yeah, okay. And then, okay. Sorry guys, I had an updated one.
We have to do this now.
Okay, I move to table this until we find the right presentation.
So the motion on the floor is to move this presentation, this update until Erin manages to find the right presentation. Is there any discussion? Is there any objection? Seeing none, this point is tabled. So we will move on to the next one, which is Europe region updates, which will be presented by Henry.
Um, Mijn naam is Wagen en ik zit in video number 7. So I'm here to present the European teams, what we've done this year. Because Florian Schilling, who is the European regional representative, is unfortunately not here. And I'm there, I'm the project manager of this term. And this is our amazing team, who's been working very hard to do a lot of different things. So some of the projects we've done this year is the winter postcard exchange. And it was essentially a fun way to connect the students from all over Europe where you send a postcard in the winter time. Then we also had a merch competition for this sorry, for this year's European Symposium. It was an open call to submit a design. And I've seen that the merch is on sale here live on this event, so you can go get it later from John if you're interested in it. These are some of the webinars that we've been doing this past half term. They have been done in a collaboration with some of the other networks and committees. And we also worked on creating opportunities for our members with organizations such as Every, FEE, Betjoy, and Kava. And in May, we had the honor of having the third regional symposium. It was in Wrocław, Poland, and we had 97 delegates. There were 13 EMOs attending, and we had some really cool sponsors, Karina and the expert, and EBS as a partner. So if you want to look how fun it is to be at a regional symposium, you can go on their Instagram account and look at what happened. Next year, we're having Latvia to host the next regional symposium. I know that they're already working on budget and itinerary, and we can be expecting the exact dates and timeline after the expo has been approved. So for the future of the regional team, we want to have the next regional symposium live, the next many regional symposiums live actually, and we're gonna get some new opportunities. I know that our team is working on it right now. Then we also want to do some changes to the Europe team to divide the workload a little bit more equally. And I want to also make an open call to join the team when it starts in November, I think it is. So you should definitely look at that when we come to it. And follow us on Instagram. So I just want to say thank you for your attention. Florian's so sad that he couldn't attend this amazing conference, but he had the pleasure to be our regional representative. And yeah, I think all that is to say is please stay in contact, like all the European MOs. And if any of you MO or local chapters have any problems, please reach out to us on our email or social media. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question? Seeing none, we can move to the next agenda point. Erin,
Erin Ko, IBSA China, bidding number 88, I moved on the table, updates on Asia Pacific.
Second.
the motion on the floor is to untable the updates of Asia Pacific region. Is there any discussion? Is there any objection? Seeing none, we are untabling.
Okay, so here are the photos. So this one is where we did the silent auction, and then we did like a city tour around Busan, and then just me and Hyewon enjoying the traditional Korean food. Our group photo, and afterwards we did a fancy formal dinner sponsored by Busan Korean Conference as well. And just as IBSA MOD and IBSA Global have been victims of Instagram, IBSA Korea has also lost their account. And so if you would like to give them like a donate your little following button on Instagram, that will mean so much to them. So I'll just give everyone 30 seconds to do that really quick.
Please guys follow us. Follow us on Instagram, please.
How about it? Bangawe.
Okay, so moving on. And then actually happening in just a few days, we're having a collaboration with IUBC where students can apply to be volunteers at the International Asia Veterinary Conference in Hong Kong. And we have around 30 that are going right now, ranging from Taiwan, Philippines, ROK, and Hong Kong. And yeah, so unfortunately there's no photos because it's happening in the future.
Leave the sound.
And that's it on my end. Thank you so much, guys.
But you can make it better. You can update if you want to make it better, but you are here.
Is there any question?
You do want to know about this.
Seeing none, thank you, Erin. Next agenda point is Middle East and North Africa region update. Tami?
Exhibiting number 3. Currently, Nabil is attending the event, but he's sick, so he couldn't come today. So I moved to table Middle East and North Africa updates.
Second.
The motion on the floor is to table the Middle East and North Africa update. Is there any discussion? Is there any objection? Seeing none. Next agenda point is Sub-Saharan Africa update. Which will be presented by Tami.
Exhibiting number 3, and so I'll present the updates of Donald, and the Salvadorian representative. And he's from Rwanda. So, in collaboration with his team, he had some webinars for, first of all, for World Veterinary Day, World Wildlife Day, and also he had a webinar with IBC Cameroon and Sierra Leone, as well as a webinar with Volunteers Animals Network. Here are some pictures of the webinars he just mentioned to us. So you can check. Also, some collaborations. He was part of the World Workshop at Continental Congress conference, he says, I enjoy supporting the Goa team in turning the workshops into action and was honored to be invited as the visitor representative at this amazing conference. Then, collaboration with IPSF Africa, he collaborated in the organizing of African Aid Marriage Forum 2024 and enjoyed being one of the OCs on behalf of IPSF. Then, Foodies for the World MR Awareness Week, collaborated over with 12 non-governmental organizations to spread awareness about AMR through webinar series and online campaigns. Recruitment of GMOs as well, with the support of MOD. He could recruit IBC Sierra Leone, Cameroon, and Ethiopia, and they were accepted at the last symposium in Morocco. Also, he was talking with them also about the membership fee, so they could pay the membership fee and not being in risk of termination. And also, he had some meetings with them, teaching them everything they needed to know about IBSA. Here are some pictures of the webinars he also mentioned to us. And the Renal Symposium, it was the fourth Renal Symposium known for bringing together all BSA members in the SSA region. And he's very glad that we finally held successfully. A special appreciation to Felix, Opendra, all the speakers and panelists, OC, Rebecca, and all the ladies that joined the event. And posts they put in their Instagram accounts, also please follow them as IBC Sahara. And he's currently working on the strategic plan for the SSA region and to the amazing team. Also to the SSA regional team, and thank you for your kind attention.
Is there any question?
Peter's now is Denmark reading number 16. Just with regards to the last two slides back, the plan, the strategic plan, it says 2025-26 on the header, but 25-27 in the picture. So
Something really say ex-COVID number 3. Yes, was a typo because the take like he's working on his until 2027. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Seeing none. Thank you. The next agenda point is preliminary financial report, which will be given by Stavros.
Started over here, this I would say excavating number 5. So sorry for the delay. So we can start with the most exciting stuff that there is, and that is nothing else than money. Because I see a lot of exciting faces. Good night to those who are going to sleep. Okay, so a basic introduction to what the treasurer does. We have an income outcome. Income is membership fees, sponsorships. We have to see that we get the money, so we can function as an association. But we have sadly also outcomes, as sadly expenses, which are not stated there, but also reimbursements, grants, and prizes, and that have to go out. We have also the financial administration, which means like, okay, we don't do any mistakes, give more than we should. We do pay taxes, and it's like partially of our job. We have to do the official registration to the banks. Belgian and American government, it's extremely fun process. We also did this term a lot of checking and helping with budgets for also global events, but also regionals, as we have 2 offline events. Of course, some news. During my term, I tried to see how we could fix problems in the treasury, and this is what I came from a document that all past treasurers made, and it was forgotten. And I found it so well phrased for our position. It's kind of frustration is me today. And Going about this, we also need a treasurer for next term. So please, can we find the next point, Master? We also had a few problems that we faced this term. We had a lot of membership fees that were missed, and with the help of Tammy, she caught this problem very early in the term, and we worked on making a way to maintain continuity in this process. We had missing money from sponsors. We found them, got the money. We separated the development fund and all other funds because you have to imagine the treasury to be like a big pot of money, but somehow you have to know which money goes where. So we completely separated the funds. Official registration, it's still like a big problem, but we are working. The term is registered, but I am not there as a treasurer. But we found the problems. We're going to work on the next term, and yeah, we also have the process to register IDC as an NGO in the US. Now to the numbers, which I know you love. Just to explain, this is the budget that got accepted by the previous General Assembly, and this is what we got. So you can see that we had a little bit more membership fees because of Tam's suggestion. We had a little bit less income from the tax congress because not so many delegates attended. Thank you for being here. Sponsors, it's the money that we found that we were being promised and should have gotten. And this is all extra things. So alumni incoming is people as Matteo want to stay in IBSA and they pay their fees. So they can be a lifelong member of the organization. That gave us a little bit more income, and now we're going to break a little bit down the expenses. So travel expenses were still in budget. We also had a problem, which was the same problem as last term. The budget that we got couldn't maintain the bank fees that we have currently that has 2 terms. So this is an ongoing problem, but it's going to get fixed for the next budget. So we actually know what we have to spend, so we don't have this problem. This was what was spent from committees and networks for various projects, also in budget. And the other thing that we had as a problem was that the members portal wasn't paid last term. It was a little bit of miscommunication that was caught up this term. And that's the only way, the only reason why this is above budget and brought also like the total of the other expenses a little bit more up. But given that we had the given that we had the extra income from the membership fees and the sponsors, that wasn't a problem. And now, the preliminary balance. So above we have what we spent so far, and also my plan for the reserve fund. So last term, the reserve fund was skipped a little bit because of a few other expenses that were going to affect also the development fund. We said we're gonna save a little bit less, and on my term, work on adjusting this. So this is what I plan to leave back to the reserve fund. And yeah, as you can see here, it's the total of the expenses that are planned until now. And this is the income that we had so far. We have to say that in the next GA, it's going to be a little bit more because we have reimbursements to send out. But we also hope to have a little bit more income from the development fund. So now about the development fund. I thought that we can break it a little bit more down. This wasn't done in the past, so I wanted to give you like an income so far. This was before the first day of this Congress. And so we expect this in January to be a little bit more higher. Very much. And this is the outcome. So what we spent so far. We, like John's team, gave 7 membership fees, paid for countries that were struggling with them. We had 4 scholarships from last term that we paid. We had 3 symposium travel grants and 2 congress travel grants. And this is the outcome. The issue here is we paid for the merge, and the merge is here. So we have the money, as to say, secured, and they're gonna come back as an income. So it's type of an asset. And have a little bit more Excel sheets to show you just what. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you, the separation of funds. So we have the central fund, and if we imagine IBSA being a car, the central fund is the petrol that we put in at the beginning of the term and hope that it gets us to the end of the term. You've seen we had an income of 87 something thousand, and then after taking out the expenses, without the reserve fund that I said, we had 25,000. We have the development fund, which is a nice air freshener in the car, gives a lot of nice memories. This is currently at 14,000, which again, we expect to have it a little bit more higher after the Congress. The reserve fund currently is at 33,000. This is the reason that we wanted to increase it. According to the bylaws, we have to have a reserve fund high enough to maintain financial stability for 3 years, given that we have no income. And the Europe Fund, it's, as to say, an extra way because it is in our accounts, but it's not under my jurisdiction. So what we managed to have here is sponsorships from Purina that cover also expenses from the regional symposium, but the rest stayed in our bank account. And I wanted to also give a little bit of thank you to the lovely Exco, because we had a lot of emails. That was like 250 emails with all of Exco. That is like almost one each day. 84 were marked as urgent, and sadly 47 of them was from me. We had a lot of discussions, a lot of votes. We had some Exco meetings that I actually did the math. It's as if we have spoken to each other for 4 days in a year, completely without a break. And the longest email thread was 51 emails for a single topic. The single topic was, how can Felix maintain that look? So to close it, we actually need 2 financial auditors to guide me through the process where I am post-treasurer after the Congress until the next symposium, that they check, okay, did he actually do what he says? Because I might be telling that nice and have a few memes, but someone has to check it. And that has to be done by 2 financial auditors. And we also need a master of coin. That's the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question? Seeing none.
Fixate this. Hold it.
Wait.
Wait. Yeah, you can change.
Next agenda point, public relations coordinator update.
Just check out. Looks that it's live.
Which will be presented by Rebecca.
Rebecca Biskamp, IBSA Hungary, bidding number 12. I will present the updates from PRC on behalf of our PRC Lorima. Yes. This is the PRC team of 2024 of this term. We have Lynn, she was secretary for she's secretary for PRC and development aid director. Seth is the secretary for PRC and general secretary. We have Joelle, who's the secretary of PRC and ERO. Halima for committee coordinator at PRC, and I'm secretary of MOD and PRC. So what are we doing as a PR team? Basically, we are keeping the image of IDSA on all social platforms. We create the logos, templates, banners, etc., all that is needed to design our social media account. We do publications or manuals, presentations or booklets from projects. We also do some trainings. Specifically this term, we did trainings with the regional social media managers on how to use Canva, which is our main tool for creating templates and posts and designs. Yes, and then our IDSA platforms, the social media sites like Instagram, X, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and the website management. And this is basically how it works. We have our tasks through ClickUp, and then it's delegated, and we use Canva to create the templates, and then it's transferred to Instagram or the other sites. So we did the reactivation of X, which was the main task from Joel. And also, as you heard before, we had to reactivate our Instagram account, unfortunately, and lost a lot of followers due to this. So feel free, and please, no, we ask you actually to follow that page to stay updated. And then also the IDSA DAD page was inactivated, unfortunately. So here's also the new account to stay updated for the development aid projects. And on our LinkedIn page, we mainly post from our sponsor Purina, all kind of booklets and courses. Also, you can see here opportunities for webinars. And then I was managing the IDSA bulletin, which is like a monthly update what all the networks, committees, and regions are doing. And I was managing the IDSA MOD page. And for the bulletin, bulletin is or glue up is basically, so we use the tool glue up for this, which is like the Facebook of IDSA, like internal Facebook. And if you scan that code, you will be directed to that page, and you can access this with your MO email address. And yes, the website management is also in charge. We are also in charge of this. And then, of course, also the official T-shirt designs, which were Seth's tasks. And what we can look for is the IDSA journal. And on Instagram, we want to launch a new challenge, the Huntsman Challenge, which was developed by Halima. And yeah, I think this is going to be a nice project, so stay tuned for this. Yeah, and thank you for your attention.
Is there any question? Seeing none, the next agenda point, which is Development Aid Director updates, to be presented by John.
John IBSX Obili number 6, and I am going to be giving the Development Director update for the 2024-2025 term, which ends here. So, my lovely team, Lynn, thank you so much for everything. So Lynn, me, and then Michelle, who unfortunately couldn't be here. Wow, this is hard. So I just want to give a heartfelt thanks to unofficial honorary members of the DAD team. That is Violet, Stavros, and of course my lovely Shield. Thank you so much for helping me throughout the term. And yes, first on the list, we had donations from two partners this year. That is Vet Lexicon and Vet BD, and they are giving us items for us to auction during our live auctions. So Vet Lexicon is giving us 1 year subscription to their educational platforms, which has a lot of educational materials, and Vet BD is also giving us a voucher for a course on their platform. And Vet Books for Africa. So technically last term we helped transport educational materials books from UK to South Africa for Vet Books. And as a token of their appreciation, they invited IVSA to their end of term dinner, and we sent delegates from IVSA South Africa to attend on our behalf. And yes, for the first time in forever, we had travel grants for symposiums. So we had 3 delegates attending, and for the first time ever, we had travel grants twice in a term, both for the symposium and the congress. And we have 2 members, that is Monsef from IBC Morocco and Tsinai from IBC Nigeria. I just want to quickly chip in here that every little thing you do for the DF counts, and it goes a long way into bettering the life of a fellow student. So, yes. So for our regional events, we had DAD presence as the European Regional Symposium, and the first time ever we had silent auctions, and we were able to raise over €1,000 from the auctions for the DF. We also had nice merch. You can see Matthias for some of the merch, and we have a few shirts that is from the DF, which is going to be sold, so you should come to me. And our president won this amazing bag from the auction. Also, same thing that happened at the European Regional Symposium. We had another silent auction, first of its kind, and we were able to raise some money for the DF, and we also had merch, which we have a few leftovers that we have here, so you can come by later for them. As usual, the normal DAD scholarship grants we opened the scholarships for a period of 6 weeks. After the scoring process, we awarded scholarships to 4 members of IVSA, that is Vedant, Shraya, Diamond, M. Sanction, and the membership fee fund is a project that the DAD undertakes every year. This is basically done to help members of IVSA who can't afford to pay for their membership fees, And we have 7 winners this year. So all the membership fees of all these members are going to be covered for next time are going to be covered by the DF. So slide and silent auction. As part of the DF's ways of generating funds, one of the main ways is through the auctions that we have every event. So we are going to have the silent auctions this evening and the live auctions on Sunday evening. So please, if you haven't yet brought in your items, quickly scan the QR code and fill it, so at least we can prepare for the silent session tonight. I need the words. So that picture just shows us the wonderful merch we have here. We have some scraps, some hoodies, t-shirts, cap bags, and then passport covers. So if you didn't pre-order and you still want some of the items, you can see me after G and we can pick it up from there. Yes. So unfortunately, we lost our social media presence, that is the Instagram, and I would want to leave this up for 30 seconds. Could you all quickly pull out your phones and follow us as soon as possible? Please, now. Wonderful. Thank you. So, if you are feeling generous, it's going to take you to all our money collecting channels, PayPal, Box, bank transfer, Stripe, every single thing is going to be found here. So you can quickly drop a few points for us. As usual, no money is too small for the year. So I'm also going to leave this here for a quick minute so you can scan and give us some money. Thank you very much. Also, if you also got currencies from your country, you can still drop it by later. And as I said, no amount of money is too small. So, these are our official channels of communication. You can find us on Facebook at IBSAGAG, on Instagram as IBSA, no underscore, just IBSAGAG, and then you can reach me on my official email, developmentfund@ibsa.org, for any inquiries, any donations, anything at all. And I have prepared a little surprise for you, which I would want.
Ẹ ṣé gan.
You can say. On that note, I would want to end on a heartfelt thank you to each and every member who has made any donations in cash, in kind, whatever it is you've given to the DF, even if it's just as little as reposting pictures, sharing it with your MO, or even just a line. Thank you so much for all that.
Thank you. Is there any question? Seeing none. Next agenda point is external relations officer update.
Is this the partner? Let's go to the correct page. Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eugenia Longue, and I've been the External Relations Officer for this past term. For those of you who are new, the External Relations Officer's tasks is to communicate with all the sponsors that we have in IBC Global. It is to do online meetings, to attend events, communicate within the IBSA to help out with all the committees and all the networks, and it is to help out OC with sponsors, both the people here at the Congress, or how do you say, manage sponsorships before the Congress, and then of course all the executive committee duties in general. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the sponsors were this year, and we're going to start with the crappy stuff because then we can get that over and done with. We had IBC Evidentia at the start of the term that we've been trying to get in contact with for a little while, and then finally we got in contact with them and they said, no, we cannot sponsor you anymore. But of course, we will be staying in contact with them and trying to see if we can find out some at another time that we can communicate. But let's start with the nice things. As Purina Institute, who has been our diamond sponsor for a few years now, either way, Purina Institute has been our diamond sponsor for a few years now, and when we reached our turn, we had a new contact person. It was very, very nice, but his first experience with us was that we changed our tiers. Tiers is the amount of money that the sponsors give us, and then all the things that we do for them in return. And before our turn, we changed our tiers for the diamond sponsorship from 30,000 euros to 50,000 euros without really talking to the sponsors first. This created a little bit of negativity within the sponsors because that would mean that Purina was not a diamond sponsor anymore. They were a gold sponsor all of a sudden, and it was not really communicated very clearly from start. So we renegotiated, and instead of just saying, okay, no, we're not going to work together anymore, we invited them to work with us on updating our tiers so that we could, negotiate together and have some nice things come out of this instead, which ended up in them contributing with 35,000 euros per year for the next 2 years instead of dropping us, which we liked quite a bit. So thank you very much, Purina. We have a very nice relationship with them, and we will continue to have that for the next 2 years. So that's amazing. Woo! Then we have Siva and Santé. Siva is one of our sponsors who works together with SWA, as Titilaya was mentioning earlier with the SWA grants. They also contributed to 3 student travel grants for internship abroad, as you saw in the video a few days ago, with Susanna and Ojas and Suchi, who traveled abroad to do some very, very nice internships. And then we used to have the Student of the Year award. Unfortunately, this year, Siva has also changed contact person, and they feel like the Student of the Year award, which is usually 5,000 euros, is too much a hassle for them because there's a lot of work associated with them, and they would like to give money and not have to work so hard for it. But of course, we can fix that. So we ended up asking them whether they would rather contribute the 5,000 euros from the Student of the Year award to the SWA grant instead, which they said, yes, okay, too. So now they're actually not a silver sponsor anymore, they're a gold sponsor. They are contributing with 10,000 euros for the SCA grant and 10,000 euros for the internship travel grant. And of course, they also signed to do that for the next 2 years, which is also amazing. So can we give that a round of applause? Then came Royal Canin. Royal Canin has also been a sponsor for quite some time. And when this was my first sponsorship meeting alone, I was so excited when I entered the meeting. Well, the first question was, why are you guys being geeks? Which was a little bit scary. But it turned out that there's been a couple of communication issues from both sides. We had an MOU. MOU is a memorandum of understanding. You might have heard it in the other presentations, but it means a contract in general. So we had a contract with Royal Canin, Sub-Saharan African region, that was supposed to provide with money for the IBSA SSA and also for the regional representative of IBSA SSA. Problem was communication got lost, and then the person who had signed the contract went on maternity leave, which made it impossible to get in contact with anybody. You'd think it would be possible, but it was not. And when we finally got in contact with people, they did not have the funds to contribute anymore with the sponsorship that they had signed. So both sides were a little bit cranky at each other. But of course, we want to be on good terms with partners, right? So we sat in, we communicated, we made an impact report, which my lovely secretaries worked very hard to make sure it came in time. And when we got to explain to Royal Canin why they are so important to us and why we are so important to them as well, they agreed to do something even cooler. So they invited us to explain our situation to Mars Veterinary Health. So we're now not just sponsored by Royal Canin, we're sponsored by Royal Canin and Mars Veterinary Health. And they are now our platinum sponsorship in collaboration with each other, which means we will have 25,000 euros with an additional 5,000 euros for travel grants for our development fund. That was kind of cool, going from being scolded at the first end of the term to ending up with this. It was quite rare. And of course, this contract is also in the signing process for the next 2 years. Thank you very much to Royal Canin and Mars Veterinary Health. Oh, and then you guys have seen all the beautiful, beautiful sponsorship ads that our lovely OC has made. And that is because we got to reach out to, well, actually it was Hills, I think, that reached out to us in the first place. Hills has been up our sponsors before. But unfortunately during Corona, we parted ways. And then we got to talk to them. I think the first meeting was in the end of April. We were very excited for Hills. Hills were very excited for us. And when we explained to them that there was potential opportunity to come and be a sponsorship for, if they wanted to go in fast, they could be a sponsor for this event. They said, oh yeah, okay, let's do that. Which is amazing because that meant that we got 10,000 euros for the SGA here in Taiwan. So thank you very much for Hills. And that's also why it's very, very important that you guys go and like everything that it has any sponsor pictures on the Instagram, because this year the sponsors are looking very much at the metrics for all of our digital footprints. So please help us out and do that. Okay, what else did we do? We updated our delegate booklets with the new tiers, the new numbers that we crunched. I want to show you the sponsorship booklet, but I think I'll leave it another time because I think we are quite late. Yeah, there'll be another situation, but I'll link to it because it is a beautiful piece of work. The delegate booklets, sponsorship booklets, I don't know why it says delegate booklets, but the sponsorship proposals are a way for IBSA to communicate to all current sponsors or potential sponsors what our organization actually is, and it makes the work so much easier because you can send that in beforehand and they're like, what's the development fund and what is IBSA? No, here we have a booklet explaining everything right there. The other things we've been working on is updating the tiers, and it is the ISA internship opportunity list, which Ishan was also talking a little bit about, starting with we, and hopefully we will get this lovely database up and running, which will be all different internship possibilities that will be on our website if they give us either a discount on doing internship with them, or like for free, or any other kind of good arrangement for us. So that one is in the works, so that's going to be exciting. Then of course we did competitions and grants and aided that with all the other rest of the community networks and regions. And then we are working on this sponsorship outreach list, which we always know. The start of the term, when I was elected in Peru, I was very excited, and I was gonna make so much this happen this term. Like everybody I know. Then came December, and I lost my little brother. So, out of a sudden, there was a lot of stuff that was not very important anymore. So this is just to say that this year, more than ever, ERO is not a one-person show. It is absolutely a team effort. And I want to present to you the lovely people that make me survive this trip. This is Ollas, he's one of my secretaries. All of the things that we spoke about, these are the things that he made happen. It's everything from the sponsorship opportunity list to keeping track of sponsor obligations, attending SIVA meetings, handling everything with SIVA because he was one of the winners, and communicating. Then we have Joel, and he's done the beautiful work with the sponsorship booklet. He's attended sponsor meetings, also communicating and engaging in new partnerships. And Daria, who you guys can see sitting down here. Yes, let's give her a hand. Who has also been crucial in creating memorandums of understanding and impact report and all of these. And then, of course, we also have Shio. Who has done everything with the whole OC communication and beautiful tiers and sponsorship and all of that. So this was just to say that there might just be one person standing here, but this was mostly everybody else but the person standing here, especially this guy who ended up running point on the whole Euro situation after December until I was ready to step slowly back in. So this was also just to give that chance to say thank you very much to all of you guys who helped me. I would have not been standing here if it wasn't for you. So big round of applause to them, and thank you very much for listening.
Seeing none, thank you. Next agenda point is attended events updates. First one is Southern Middle East and North Africa Forum, which will be presented.
Felix Metzger, IBC Expo number 69. Yes, I would love to present you something. We sent the MENA regional rep, Ali Majid, who resigned from his position to the Bissau Middle East event. And since he resigned, we couldn't get any pictures or anything. And so also the report was sadly quite short. The idea was that because Bissau was inviting us and also paying for the trip, that the MENA regional rep is going to this regional event and engaging with the people to create opportunities, to get connections, which worked in a way that IBSA showed presence. Unfortunately, nothing followed after this, and there's nothing more I can tell you about this event. So I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Is there any question? No. Next is there is a question. Peter?
Peter, People's Lives in Denmark meeting number 16. Has there been any negative repercussions, feedbacks, that sort of situation from Zava in North Africa, or are we still on good terms with them? Thank you.
Felix Metzger, IBS Committee number 69. I've been asking the same, and so far, like everything was fine. Also, like our representation at the event was seen as good, but like not very. There are no highlights, so it was like okay, they were there, but nothing more. But no negative, nothing negative. Thankfully.
Thank you. Is there any other question? Seeing none, next agenda point is the previous Congress. Also by
Felix Metzger, IBS Committee number 69. So yeah, we are talking about events that we attended. Why are we talking about it? Because we are using IBS money to go to such events, like at least to a lot, and to gain new partnerships, to work on our partnerships. But EBS was actually an event where EBS invited us and also paid for my attendance, which was quite easy given that the event was in Serbia, Belgrade, and from Germany to Serbia is not that far, therefore not that expensive. So, as mentioned, EBS European Board of Veterinary Specialization, it was their first ever Congress, which is why it was amazing to be there. Also, not just alone, we had amazing people from IBSA Serbia there, for example, that wonderful individual. It was so amazing to It was amazing to meet a lot of people and also IBSA Serbia from the 2nd to the 4th of April. What does EBS do? Ensuring the highest level of veterinary medicine in Europe. It's an umbrella organization for veterinary specialties in Europe. And I mentioned all of those things in the present update. How we're working together, it's a very new partnership, so things are developing. We had a webinar about veterinary specialization together with IBS in Europe, and we will from now on, with the new MU attend each other's events. And also EBS is part of ECCBT, which I will talk a bit more about in the next presentation. Why did I attend the event? Strengthen this collaboration, interaction, discussions, which is really important. And I also attended a panel discussion as a moderator, also to represent the student body with some questions, especially given that there were like also deans from universities there, so that was quite good. Also, other partners were there like Eve, FE, and FIBA. So Eve, like who gave the presentation 2 hours ago. And yeah, I was of course representing the student perspective to put us in the spotlight. This is one of the key things. A lot of times there are like no direct results coming off it, but IBSA must be present at those events, even if it's sometimes expensive, because otherwise people will just forget us, which is sad, but it will happen. So that's why we need to be present, active, and engaging with them. That's a lovely picture of me with the EBS board. It was an amazing time, wonderful people. And that's it. Thank you very much. This is the website of EBS, and of course, like if you have any questions, speak to me.
Next agenda point is ECCBT meeting 5 weeks.
All right, Felix Metzger, IBS Committee number 69, last presentation of the day. So, another event we attended, ECCBT. It's the European Coordinating Committee on Veterinary Training. And it was the meeting of the ECCBT members. So, for example, EBS, FEE, EVE, but also IBSA as an ad hoc member. And it happened in Vienna, Austria on the 23rd of April. And what does ECCBT do? They are observing current developments in veterinary education, they're interacting with bodies to address needed changes, and they also write position papers. And how are we working together? As mentioned, IBSA is there's an ad hoc member, so I join the meetings, I again bring in the student perspective, give comments on things, and try to make sure that we're not forgotten, and also like certain decisions are including like good things for students. So why do we attend? As mentioned, student perspective, participate, interacting, because again, a lot of partners are there, so it's also good for checkups, be like, hey, everything good, everything fine, anything we should talk about? Yes, oh no. Yeah. So what happened at this event this year? It was a one-day meeting with a lunch break, which was good. We had discussions about ECTS points for visiting experts, what Pierre mentioned, like people joining those visitations. So far, they're not getting like much out of it besides the experience. They discussed that there should also be ECTS points considered. Then it was talked about a position statement and guidelines regarding AI, common topic these days. We also had a guest speaker from WAR, Dr. Ulrich Herzog from Germany, and he gave an update about the activities of WAR within the Europe region, especially considering the foot and mouth disease wave that happened this year. And we also talked about mentoring and coaching activities, which is very nice, again, for ISA. At that point, I want to highlight again the Vet Joy program by FDE and the mentoring opportunities there, so please check that out. And that's it. Thank you very much. Again, this is the website, and for any questions.
Is there any question? Seeing none, thank you, Felix. The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Raise your hand and say I so moved. Raise your hand and say I so moved.
Here.
Also, Zelandi, and is Morocco with the number 29. I so moved.
Second. The motion on the floor is to adjourn this meeting of the GA. Is there any discussion? Is there any objection?
This is perfect.
Seeing none, the meeting is adjourned. We recommend tomorrow. Now please stay seated because there are few announcements just like every other time. So first one, I want to say today you saw the presentation from EAUP. In case for the European students who are also students at the university that is accredited, if you're interested in joining to participate as a student expert, you can also ask me questions. I have attended one of these visits, so if you're interested, come.
Hello, next announcement is from the election committee. People that are nominating, other people who are not present here for the event, please kindly get full names of nominees and their email addresses along with their contacts. Because when we are mispronouncing different difficult names, we are missing it out in the minutes and we need full names of nominees at that time. So please be careful about that. And for the people that want to change money, that is from cash, like if they brought euros or dollars in cash, and want to change it to new Taiwanese dollars, we'll be collecting money tonight and tomorrow morning, so that we can go and change money during lunch break. Because unfortunately here, there's no separate exchanges on the banks offer the exchanging service, so they're only open during the mornings, so that is why we need to get it done early. If there's anyone who wants to get money changed, either approach Celine or me, and we get it figured out for you. Peter, do you have a question about this?
Just please, if you nominated or accepted, come see the election committee.
Yes.
Hi.
We also have announcements from the OC.
Okay, so I'll be making the daily announcements. So after this, we will be heading back to the hostel, but before that, I would like all of you to follow your team leaders because for tomorrow's optional technical visit, groups A and C will have to top up their transportation cards. So later, your team leaders will bring you to top up the transportation cards and but group B, those who are joining group B, you don't have to top up money, you just follow your group. And later, we will be leaving in different batches. So it's group 1 and 2 will leave first, and after that, groups 5 and 6, followed by 3 and 4, and then lastly 7 and 8. Okay, and after dinner at dinner tonight, we will be having a silent auction.
How exciting!
And
More energy. More energy.
Yeah,
And for tomorrow's
How
schedule,
dare you?
we'll be having the GA. And in the afternoon, we will have the optional technical visits, which will be moving in different groups. So for those of you joining Group A, you'll be going for a Taipei cultural journey, which includes the National Taiwan Museum, the Songshan Cultural and Creative Park. And for Group B, you'll be going to the Taipei Zoo. And for Group C, Plan C is a guided tour at the Marine Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation Center by the Taiwan Station Society. And after the tour tomorrow, we'll be having a free evening, so you can feel free to go around to see the cafe. Okay, and before we leave, our team noticed like a large improvement with the range sorting today. So, okay, and now before we leave, I would like all of you to look around you and see if there's any trash. And after that, you look for your team leaders and please get it out.
Bye. He's very happy to see us all.
Starvey, who doesn't belong?